Hey everyone, it's Lanw-Boy R8237 here, and as promised, I'm going to show you how to do the yearly maintenance on the Lanw-Boy F engine. So if your Lanw-Boy has the Lanw-Boy F engine, you will be able to do this maintenance. The maintenance that we are going to be doing is cleaning the air filter, gapping the spark plug, sharpening the blade, and cleaning the exhaust ports. I'm not going to go into too much detail on how to sharpen the blade because there's so many different YouTube videos and everybody has their own way. Time to get started. Before we get started, I just want to remind you to please remember to subscribe and to like this video and to leave a comment down below. Going right into it, we're going to start by cleaning the air filter, but before we do that, go over to the other side of the Lanw-Boy, the opposite of the air filter, and pull off your spark plug wire to make sure it does not accidentally start. To get off the air filter cover, there's this little clip right on the side of the air filter here. Right there. And we're just going to stick a screwdriver in and pop it off, just like that. Now to open the door, reach in and just pull it off, just like that. Swing the air filter door open all the way. As you can see, mine fell off. That's no big deal because we can just put it back in. Then we're going to want to pull out the air filter. As you can see, my air filter is not too dirty, but some people's air filters have a lot of grass and dirt all over them. Now we're going to go clean the air filter. If your air filter is disintegrated or damaged, like my air filter was, you can see here mine has this little slit in it. You can get a new air filter. Sten's makes a good one. Here's the part number. If you are using a new air filter, you can skip the washing step and go right to the oiling step. Sorry about the noise there. But to wash the air filter, what I do, I fill up a bucket with warm water and Dawn dish detergent. You can use any dish detergent that gets rid of grease. What I do, I just put the air filter in and squish it around to get out all the old oil and grass that could be in there. So do that for a little while or until all the dirt is removed from your air filter. Now what I like to do is just rinse the air filter under some running water to get out all the soapy suds. Once all the suds are removed, just wring out the air filter as best as you can. Get out all the water. If you want it, you could blot it with a rag to make sure there's no water. Then what I do, I put it someplace and let it dry overnight. Okay, it's the next day. The air filter is dry. Now what we want to do is oil the air filter. You can use automotive oil, tool oil, preferably automotive oil that's not too heavy. I guess 5W30 would work fine. I don't know if you could use two-stroke oil. You probably could. If someone knows, leave a comment down below the video. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to pour a little oil on the air filter. Just going to spread it all around with my fingers. Don't worry if you put a little bit too much because we're going to end up blotting it off. Now we just want to squeeze the air filter. You can see the oil. It's really starting to get distributed. You just want to make sure you get the oil all the way through the air filter. You can see it's on the back side and the front side. Now we're just going to take some old rags here and we are going to just wrap a rag around and squeeze out a lot of the excess oil. That's why it doesn't matter if you put a little bit too much. You want to get out as much of this excess oil as you can. Remember, the oil in the air filter is not to oil the engine. We just want it to catch all the really fine dust and pollen from cutting grass. That's pretty good. You don't see you can just see a few little shimmers of oil. It's not puddled all over the surface. Let's go reinstall the air filter back on the Lanw-Boy. I got my air filter. You just want to put your air filter, stuff it inside the air filter box. It should have a really nice tight fit. You don't want to have any grass leaking around it, or any dirt, I mean. Now we just want to swing the door shut, and the door will latch. Then we're just going to swing our wire clip over. Has a nice snap. There you go. Just in case you're wondering, this is the more modern air filter box. It has these vents, and I just painted it green because it looked really ugly whenever it was black. Now the next maintenance thing we are going to do is gap the spark plug. To gap the spark plug, remove the bag if you have the bag on. Set it over to the side. Also, it's helpful to remove the chute to make it easier to get to the spark plug. Okay. The spark plug is right down there. To remove the spark plug, you will need a 3/4 inch socket, deep socket, or spark plug socket. Just put the socket on and get it all loosened up. Okay, now we can just unthread it by hand. And there's the spark plug. It's not focusing, but now we're going to gap that spark plug. Okay, there's our spark plug. We want to gap the spark plug to 0.30 inches. So I have my gap tool. I'm going to slide it in. You can see it's a little bit too loose, so I'm going to bend it down slightly. Probably went way too much there. Yep, way too much. We're talking about 0.0 inches. Alright, that's actually good right there. There's just a little bit, you know what, a little bit of resistance. I'm gonna go just a tad more. There we go. You should just want to have a little bit of resistance. You could also use a business card for this, but I think that would make the gap a little bit too small. But that's what some people do. So if you don't have a gap tool, you can use a business card. Let's go reinstall it back on the Lanw-Boy. Okay, there's the spark plug hole. We want to just start the spark plug by hand. You never want to use your socket to start it by hand, or okay, there we go. See, it should thread in really easily, just like that. Then take your socket and tighten it down. Okay. Don't over tighten your spark plug or you'll strip it out. I said in the Durforce video, don't ask me why, and this is why. Because I over tightened this and it stripped out the spark plug. So I had to go through a whole process of retapping the hole. You don't want to have to do that. It's a lot of work. So don't over tighten your spark plugs. The next thing we are going to do is clean the exhaust ports. I got the mower up on the workbench. This will make it easier for you to see and for me to do. So the first thing we want to do is take off our blade. So we're going to remove that bolt or nut right there. To do that, you need a 15/16 socket. I'm using my impact wrench because I'm short on time and it makes it quicker. So if you're using headphones, you may want to take them off. Okay. We're just gonna take our blade off and set it to the side. We also want to pull off the blade adapter. Oh, mine's actually free. If your blade adapter was stuck on, what you could do is gently tap the sides with a rubber mallet. That's usually not going to make it come off though. So what you can use is a gear puller to take it off. Check out Lanw-Boy 73's video on how to take off stuck-on blade adapters. He tells you how to do that. I'll try to put the little information button up there so you can click on that. Now what we need to do is take out those 3 bolts there. To do that, let's see what size socket we'll need. To take those out, you'll need a 1/2-inch socket. I'm going to use my impact wrench again. You could just as easily take these out with your socket. Okay. Set those aside. Alright, before the last bolt's undone, I'm gonna hold your muffler in place, pull out your bolt, take the socket here, just undo it. Okay, I'm going to pull off our muffler. Right up there is our exhaust ports. I'm gonna get a light out so you can see. Then we will clean these exhaust ports. Okay, I got a light. You can see the holes inside there. Those are actually where the exhaust gases come out. And you can see my piston, it's covering those holes. You need to make sure that your piston is covering those holes. To clean the exhaust ports, what I'm using is a pencil that I cut the end off. You only want to use wood to scrape away the carbon. If you use metal, you're more likely to scratch the cylinder. So I'm going to show you on the first hole here. The carbon usually collects around the edges of the hole. So what you want to do with your scraper is just scrape it. Just rub it kind of around the edges. Mine's not bad because I did this not too long ago. But sometimes your holes will be completely plugged up. And if you're wondering why your lawnmower has almost no power at all, it's stalling out and bogging down, it's probably because your exhaust ports are plugged up. Sometimes they can be completely covered with the carbon. So we just want to scrape around these. Then what you want to do is use something like a shop vac to scrape out, or not to scrape out, I mean to suck out the carbon. Or you want to use your air compressor with a blowgun nozzle to blow that out. So I'm going to use my shop vac and suck that out, then I'll be back. One thing also is that if your muffler is really, really oily, as you can see mine's pretty oily, what you can do is put it on a grill burner. Like if you have a barbecue grill, if it has one of the side burners, you can put it on there, and what that will do, it'll basically just burn off all this oil. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to wipe some of that out with a rag, and then we're going to put it all back together. To reassemble it, what you want to do is take your muffler, and you'll notice on the muffler how it's like a tall triangle and you can see the bolt holes. It resembles that same pattern, so you line up the muffler holes like that. Put this little, I guess, shaft seal thing there, line that up. Take your bolt, start threading it in the hole. Let me grab the socket. Okay. You want to make these bolts pretty tight. You're just going to strip out the threads after I get these bolts back in. Okay, I got the other bolts in. Now I'm just going to tighten them down. Okay. Good. Nice and tight. Now we want to put the blade back on. Put your blade adapter in. One thing you could do if your blade adapter were stuck on was put a little bit of anti-seize back there. Get your blade. And the way to tell if you're putting your blade on right, you see how the blade has that wing? You want that wing to be facing the deck. And it also says down here, grass side up. Now it's embossed in the metal so it won't wear off. Put your washer on. Okay, I'm going to run it down here. Make sure the blade is lined up with the little dimples. I'm going to get my ratchet, crank it down tight. Okay, that's good. Well, there you have it, folks. Maintenance on the F engine, according to what Lanw-Boy says. The only one that you don't have to do every year is cleaning your exhaust ports. Some people never even clean their exhaust ports at all. And especially today, especially if you clean out your exhaust ports now, today's modern two-stroke oil is just so much cleaner. It doesn't have the ash and everything. So, thanks for watching. And if you have any videos you would like me to make about maintenance or Lanw-Boy problems, put them in the comments down below. And have a great day.